Hello, dear students of the 6th elementary grade, and welcome to a new episode of our program. Actually, on this episode, we're starting your book of science, and we'll be discussing and explaining lesson 1 of unit 1, mass and weight, with our teacher of science, Mr. Nader Nassim. Hello, Mr. Nader, and welcome to the program.
Hello, thank you. Hello.
Science this year is so interesting indeed.
So
I
interesting
like it
and
so much.
And so easy.
Yeah.
I think this semester is very easy.
Mhm.
Okay, because we will start with our first lesson about mass and weight.
Yeah.
Do you know the difference between them?
A lot of misunderstanding happens actually. People do not recognize the difference between mass and weight. They mix them up.
They mix
most
and
of the time.
The concept of mass and weight always confuse some pupils.
Yeah.
دايما مفهوم الماس and weight الكتلة والوزن بيعمل اضطراب مع بعض الطلبة. فالنهارده هنعرف نعمل differentiation between mass and weight.
So, what is the difference between mass and weight? What is mass? What is weight?
It's a great difference. It's the lesson.
Yeah.
It's not a sentence, okay? يعني هي مش جملة واحدة أقدر أقول الديفرنس mass and weight في جملة واحدة. هي الدرس كله أو اليونت كلها هي الماس and weight.
Yeah.
Okay? بس already unit 1 هي فيها lesson واحد بس lesson 1 about mass and weight. Okay? Let me start now with a very important question. Yes. Okay? Sometimes we read the sentence on some bags. Net weight is 5 kilogram.
الوزن الصافي كذا.
It was صافي 5 kilogram.
Yeah.
Is the sentence true?
Well, I learned from you before that it is not true.
Why it's not true? Because we measure weight by Newton, or we measure weight in Newton, not kilogram. يبقى مهم قوي نعرف ان الويت مش بقيسه بالكيلوجرام. كيلوجرام ده للماس. Okay? وهنعرف النهارده فرق كبير قوي بين الماس and weight او الماس والويت. Okay? So now let's start the definition or the properties of mass. عايز اعرف دلوقتي ايه هو الماس او ايه هي الماس. Okay? Mass, as we know from the previous study from primary 4, is the amount of matter in a body. Mass is the amount of matter in a body. Okay?
كمية المادة في
مادة
الجسم.
Imagine that we have two bags like this. Okay? This bag contains 4 marbles. This bag contains only 1 marble. Which one has more mass? Which one has more mass?
The one on the left.
Yeah, the one on the left, number 1, or number 2? Number 1, as you said, on the left. Why? Because it has more matter. Because it has more matter. So we can say mass is the amount of matter in the body. Again, mass is the amount of matter in the body. Again, it's a very important definition. Mass is the amount of matter in a body or in an object. The same, okay? So now, let's start with the properties of
طبعا عشان بس ما يحصلش في confusion بين البادي اللي هو جسم الإنسان.
هنا
أفضل in an object.
أقصد أي body يعني أي جسم مش شرط جسم ما قلتش human body, okay?
قصدي بس عشان ما حدش يلخبط بينها.
Okay, very good, yes, okay. So now let's start with the properties of mass. عايز أعرف إيه خواص الماس ولما أعرفها كويس قوي هقدر أعمل differentiation between mass and weight. The first, the properties of mass. First, the property of mass. Mass increases when the amount of matter increases and vice versa. Again, mass increases when the amount of matter increases and vice versa. Okay? Imagine that, Mr. Yasser, we have a bag. This bag, let's draw with ourselves. This bag contains 1 marble, and the mass of this marble is 5 grams. Okay? What happened when I add another marble?
Marble اللي هي البلية.
بلية بالظبط كده. What happened when I add another marble? I think they will be 10 grams. Okay? Another marble? I think they will be each marble 5 grams.
So 15.
So 15 grams. Okay? Another marble? 20 grams. What happened to mass? What happened to mass when I increase the matter? I think when the matter increases, لما الماتر بتزيد, الماس increases too. Okay? Again, when the matter increase, لما بزود المادة, mass increase, الكتلة بتزيد. Okay? So again, we can say that the relation between mass and matter is direct relation.
Yeah.
كلمة مهمة قوي خدناها في primary 5. Direct relation, علاقة طردية. يعني ايه علاقة طردية؟ The two factors.
One increases, the other also increases.
The one increase, as you said, very good. The other also increased. واحد بيزيد التاني برضه بيزيد. So we can say that the relation between mass and matter is direct relation or directly proportional. Okay? So again, the first property of mass is that mass increases when the amount of matter increases. Mass increases when the amount of matter increases and vice versa. So we can say mass decreases when the amount of matter decreases. Okay? Increase, increase, decrease, decrease. يعني ايه سوا؟ يعني مو سوا. Okay? Again, we can say mass increases when the amount of matter increases and vice versa. يعني vice versa العكس صحيح. يعني ممكن أعكس الجملة كلها. We can say mass decreases when the amount of matter decreases. Okay? That's the first property of mass. Okay. Another property of mass is that all matters have mass whatever their physical state, solid, liquid, or gas. Whatever their physical state, solid, liquid, or gas. What's meant by this property? This property means that if I have an ice cube, okay, like that, ice cube, this ice cube is 10 grams. Its mass is 10 grams. What happened to its mass if this ice cube melts, Mr. Yasser? لو انت المكعب بتاعك دوت ساح هيتغير الماس. I think the same doesn't change 10 grams. What happened to the mass of this ice cube or the water of the ice cube when it evaporates in a closed system? I think it will be 10 grams.
This is very important. When you said when it evaporates in a closed
مغلق بالظبط كده في نظام مغلق.
For example.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Because so, if it's not closed,
it will evaporate.
Yeah, it will evaporate.
So
and
the mass
will
decrease.
Affect the mass.
The mass decrease. So we can say that mass is constant. Mass is what?
Constant.
Is constant. ثابتة or stable. في أكتر من كلمة بنفس المعنى. Constant, stable, or fixed value. Fixed value. So we can say that again. Mass is constant, stable, or fixed value in any state of matter or on any physical state of matter, solid, liquid, or gas. So again, we can say the second property of mass, mass doesn't change by changing the state of matter. Or we can say in another words, all matters have mass whatever their physical state, solid, liquid, or gas. Again, أي matter أي مادة في الدنيا ليها mass مهما كان حالتها الفيزيائية. solid مادة صلبة, liquid مادة سائلة, gas مادة غازية. Okay? Another property of mass. Okay, all matters have mass whatever their place. Again, the third property of mass, all matters have mass whatever their place. مهما كان مكانها. Because matter doesn't change or mass doesn't change by changing the place. Again, all matters have mass whatever their place in hand, on the earth, on the moon, on any planet, in any place in the universe. Imagine that, Mr. Yasser.
It's not affected by
changing
gravity,
the place.
For example.
No, gravity means weight. ده بقى الفرق الكبير قوي بين الماس والويت. اتفقنا؟ يبقى الماس مرتبطة بالكتلة اللي جوايا أنا أو الماتر اللي جوايا أنا. يعني كتير قوي من الطلبة يسألوني طب لما بروح عند القمر أنا بحس إن الماس بتقل. لا، الماس doesn't change. يعني for example, if a person is standing here on the earth, نرسم مع بعض. Okay? And this person has a mass equal 60 kilogram, for example, okay? This person is standing on the earth, traveled to a journey to the moon. What happened to his mass? Okay, can you guess, Mr. Yasser?
Yeah, it will become lighter.
No,
it doesn't change.
The mass
but
doesn't
the weight
change.
Changes.
The mass, okay, لسه احنا في الماس. الماس ما بتتغيرش. Mass equal
so what about
60 gram.
Do we say it wrongly when we say that, well, I weigh something like 60 kilograms?
I determine the mass. كتير قوي قوي اللفظ ده قلته حتى في الكلاس من كام يوم مع الطلبة. أنا مش بوزن، أنا بحدد الكتلة.
كتلتي.
بالظبط كده. بالظبط فعلا كده. لكن احنا اوريدي خلاص بقت يعني common mistake الوزن.
ودي common يعني universal mistake not
يعني
just
مش من Arabic بس ولا في مصر بس، هي في العالم كله. أنا بوزن، لا مش صح جدا. أنا بحدد الكتلة. يعني حتى في طالب شاطر قوي قال لي بكتل. يعني بيحدد الكتله. اوكي وده اللي كان بيسموه في الالفاظ القديمه شويه الكيل او المكيال. هو بيحدد الماس مش الويت. اتفقنا؟ يبقى تاني all matters have mass whatever their physical state. All matters have mass whatever their place on hand or in hand, sorry, on the moon, in the universe, in any place in the universe. All matters have mass. في أي مكان في الدنيا الماس ما بتتغيرش. Okay? Imagine that, yes, Mr. Yasser, this example for you. Okay? What's your mass?
I don't know, but maybe I'm not
60
sure.
or 70 kilogram?
No, more than 70.
More than 80 kilogram?
A little bit more than 70, I guess.
75, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Yasser here. Mr. Yasser. 73, okay. Mr. Yasser here, standing on the earth. Standing on the earth.
I haven't weighed myself for a long time.
No, don't say that. You can say you haven't determined your mass. انت ما حددتش الكتلة.
Yeah, but this is how people say.
Okay. The people say that. الناس بيقولوا كده فعلا لكن مش صح. اتفقنا خلاص؟
عارف حاجات كتير بنقولها غلط ولما حد بيصححها لنا او بيقول الصح بتاعها بنستغرب الصح.
فبنستمر في الغلط.
اعتقد ان احنا بنستمر دايما في الغلط. حاجات كتير بالشكل ده.
للاسف الشديد يا ياسر. Okay, again, if Mr. Yasser here on the earth equal 75 كيلوغرام.
ممكن نغلط الشخص اللي بيتكلم الصح.
تحصل كتير فعلا. Okay, and Mr. Yasser had a short journey to the moon. رحت كده رحلة قصيرة للقمر. Okay, short journey to the moon. Your weight or your mass here or there, sorry, equal 75 kilogram. Your what?
My mass
your
doesn't
mass.
change.
Okay, so mass again doesn't change. Mass on the earth equals 75 kilogram of Mr. Yasser. And the mass of Mr. Yasser is also 75 kilogram on the moon.
But I want to know something here. Is mass the same as weight? I mean, if my mass is 75,
what's your weight?
What about my weight?
Okay, after a while we will know that we can get weight. ممكن أجيب الويت by multiplying mass in kilogram by 10.
Yeah. So which is more, mass or weight?
They are the same.
They are the same.
Your mass is 75 kilogram. أنت عندك كتلة 75 كيلو. And your weight is 70 or 750 Newton. They are the same.
The same.
Okay. Yeah. Like that. What's the difference
the
between?
The measuring unit is different.
Yeah. Like the difference between 1 pound and 100 piasters. إيه الفرق بين الاثنين؟ جنيه و100 قرش.
Yeah.
They are the same.
Yeah.
Okay. But 1 pound in units, in larger unit, which is pound. Piaster in smaller unit, which is piaster. Okay. So again, we must concentrate. We must recognize that. لازم أعرف كويس قوي. Mass doesn't change. Mass doesn't change. Okay. Mass is fixed or stable or constant value and doesn't change by changing the place of matter or the place of the body or the state of the body. Solid, liquid, gas. All of them have mass. Okay. Another property of mass. I think you know it, Mr. Yasser. Mass of any matter is fixed, or stable, and it doesn't change by changing what? As we said, the state of matter, the place of matter. يبقى الماس هنا ما بتتغيرش، ملهاش أي factors، مفيش أي عامل بيأثر عليها خالص. Mass of any matter is fixed, stable, value, and it doesn't change by changing the state of matter or the place of matter. Another property of mass. Mass is measured in units of, can you say them, Mr. Yasser?
Gram, kilograms, or tons.
Gram, kilogram, or tons. What are the difference, or what is the difference, sorry, between each one of them? I think a gram for the...
Yeah, gram is the smallest unit here.
Yeah, smallest unit for what? We can use gram for gold, silver,
gold,
diamond, chemicals. Okay? Very precious things or very, very small things in mass. حاجات صغيرة قوي أو كتل صغيرة جدا. We use gram for measuring very small masses such as gold, silver, chemicals, diamond, and so on. Okay? But kilogram for like fruits and vegetables.
For heavier stuff.
Heavier things. Okay. But what about ton? Ton for very, very big masses such as blocks of iron, the mass of cars. Okay? Mass of cars or the weight of cars?
Mass of cars.
Mass of cars. Okay? So again, we must concentrate. We use gram, kilogram, and ton for mass, not for weight. Okay? تمام. Okay. Again, we said that mass doesn't change by changing the place or state of matter, and the mass is measured in units gram, kilogram, and ton. Okay? تقريبا كده قربنا نخلص ماس عشان نخش على الويت.
Yeah, but state of matter here is related to the place that must be enclosed. That must be closed.
In a closed system, especially when it's a gas.
Yeah.
Okay. But if it's solid or liquid, it can't be.
Yeah.
We need that. Okay. So again, mass is measured by what؟ ازاي بنحدد الماس اللي احنا كنا بنتكلم عليها من شويه، اللفظ الخطأ الشائع انا بوزن نفسي، لا انا ازاي احدد الكتله. Yeah, we can use scales or balances. We have devices. عندنا أجهزة اسمها، حتى اسمها برضو خطأ يا مستر ياسر.
scales.
اسمها الميزان بالعربي.
صح
كده؟ لا هو الصح. طب الصح أسميها إيه بقى؟
الميزان غير
الميزان؟ ما هو مش هيوزن، هو هيحدد الكتلة. صح كده؟ المكتل. Okay. The device that is used to measure mass. I can say that. ممكن نقول هو الجهاز اللي بيحدد الكتلة. أو the device which is used to measure the mass, not the weight. We have many devices and many types of these devices that are called scales or balances. Like that, we have types of scales or balances. Like number one, two-arm scale. Two-arm scale. What are these scales? What is the meaning of two-arm scale?
Like a scale with two arms.
two-arm هنا معناها يعني ميزان عنده دراعين. لا هو هنا اقصد بيها ميزان ذو كفتين، ميزان عنده كفتين. اوكي، عشان بس كتير قوي الطلبه يفتكروا ان هو عنده دراعين فعلا يعني. اوكي، ميزان ذو كفتين. اوكي، and this two-arm scale we have two examples of them. balance scale ميزان المعتاد اللي احنا عارفين كويس قوي. we use it to measure the mass of fruits and vegetables. Also sensitive two-arm scale.
Like when you go to the greengrocers.
Yeah, greengrocers. Okay, sensitive two-arm scale ميزان ذو كفتين بس الحساس. Okay, another type of scales is called one-arm scale.
What do you mean here by sensitive?
Sensitive, which is used to measure very small masses or very
so it can be affected by any little mass added to it.
Sure, yeah, any little mass. يتأثر بأي كتلة بتضاف لي. Okay, for more precious or more expensive some things. Okay, like what happened or what I use to measure the mass of gold or silver. يعني الميزان اللي هستخدمه او المكتل بقى. Okay, الجهاز اللي بيقيس الكتلة اللي هستخدمه to measure the mass of gold هو اللي هستخدمه عشان اعمل measure للmass of fruits. I think not.
Some people might say, all right, sugar, for example, is tiny, little, but
it's tiny, but it's not very expensive like gold.
Yeah.
Okay, how much sugar? Okay, or what is the price of sugar? I think £5 for a kilo.
Yeah.
Okay, but what's the price of gold? I think
much more.
3,000 or 300,000. Okay, much more. Okay, so again we have another type of scales which is called one-arm scale أو ميزان ذو كفة واحدة. And we have two types or two examples of this scale which are one-arm digital scale and one-arm scale with a pointer. Again, one-arm digital ميزان رقمي and one-arm scale with a pointer. So now we have a picture for this scale. This is the one-arm digital scale. This scale is sensitive, حساس شوية, and is used for measure very small masses and very precious masses like gold and silver. So again, another type of scales which is called one-arm scale with a pointer. يعني ميزان بكفة واحدة وليه مؤشر. We use this scale to measure the mass of fruits, vegetables, flour, cheese, and so on. Okay, this scale is called one-arm scale with a pointer.
Yeah, the modern one.
The modern one. Okay, I saw it in my kitchen. Okay, some people or some women use this scale to measure the mass of the tools or the quantities they use in the kitchen, like flour, like sugar, like milk, and so on. Okay, another type of scale which is called one-arm scale with a pointer is very sensitive scale, ميزان حساس جدا, and it is used for measuring the mass of some quantities or some things that is used in the kitchen. Okay, we have a summary for all the scales we have studied this lesson.
And they are not all, by the way, they are not all because there are many
طبعا هم مش كل حاجة.
more modern kinds of scales.
We have more modern, okay, and we have many kinds and many types of scales. But already we have studied two types of scales this lesson: two-arm scale and one-arm scale. Two-arm scale which is divided into balance scale, and sensitive to arm scale. One arm scale which is divided into one arm digital scale and one arm scale with a pointer. Okay? So we have a nota pena. Nota pena means a very important note. Okay, Mr. ياسر يعني ايه nota pena او NP؟
Very important note.
او ناخد بالنا. اوكي؟ يبقى NP يعني ناخد بالنا. ملاحظة مهمة جدا. Okay. This nota pena or this note, important note, says that we use a suitable balance to measure the suitable quantity of masses. يعني بستخدم الميزان المناسب عشان أحدد الكتلة المناسبة. For example, we use what balance, Mr. Yasser, for measuring the mass of fruits or vegetables. Okay? We have many examples of balances. Okay? Like this picture of balances. We have many examples as we have studied. Balance scale, sensitive, one arm digital, one arm with a pointer. Which one of them do you prefer to measure the mass of fruits? I think I will use balance scale. Which one of them I prefer to measure the mass of gold and silver? I think digital. Okay, digital, one arm scale. Okay, so now we have a nota pena. ملاحظة مهمة جدا. We use the suitable balance to measure the suitable quantity of masses. Okay, another nota pena. What's about 1 gram؟ ايه هو ال 1 gram ده عشان يبقى عندي sense بال 1 gram دوت تقريبا هو mass of 1 paper clip. كتلة دبوس ورق. 1 paper clip, and this is very very small masses such as we use in jewelry. Okay, يبقى 1 gram تقريبا بيساوي mass of 1 paper clip. كتلة دبوس ورق. What about kilogram? We know that from our previous study in mathematics. عارفين كويس قوي من دروس الرياضيات ان 1 kilogram equal 1000 gram. 1000 gram and equal the mass of 1 liter of water or distilled water at the normal temperature. يعني ايه هو كيلوجرام؟ تقريبا هو كتلة لتر ميه بس في الحرارة المعتادة، بس تكون ميه بنسميها distilled water او ماء مقطر. Again, kilogram equal 1000 gram, and as we know from our previous study, and equal the mass of 1 liter of water at the normal temperature. Kilogram also is suitable for what? For measuring large masses such as fruits and vegetables. Okay? Again, kilogram is suitable for measuring large masses such as fruits and vegetables. So what about ton? I think ton is used to measure the very big masses. ton ده عشان الحاجات الكبيرة قوي such as the mass of cars, such as the mass of huge blocks of iron and so on. Okay? Again, ton is used to measure very big masses such as the mass of cars or mass of very huge blocks of iron.
Wood, for example.
Wood and for example. Okay. Mass of a body. Again, نقطة مهمة جدا تقريبا هو دي أهم حاجة في الماس. Mass of the body doesn't change from place to another. Doesn't change from place to another. And as we said, if a body here on the earth have a mass, has a mass equal 75 kilogram, this body doesn't change its mass. Mass بتغيرش خالص and stays 75 kilogram on any place in the universe. For example, mass of your body on the surface of the earth equal 50 kilogram. Okay, Mr. Yasser, that's a problem for you.
Yeah.
If your mass here is 50, معلش هنخليك تخس شوية.
All right.
Okay. Okay. Your mass here is
I'm
50.
not fat, by the way.
Okay. Your mass here on the earth is 50 kilogram. What happened to your mass if you traveled to the moon?
It doesn't change.
It will be 50 kilogram too?
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened to your mass if you travel to Jupiter, the largest planet?
Nothing
Jupiter.
happens.
Nothing happened. Okay. Why?
Because mass doesn't change.
Because mass doesn't change, or because mass isn't affected by changing the place, or mass doesn't change by changing the place or the state of matter. So again, we can say that mass doesn't change, and it isn't affected by changing the place.
But
okay?
my weight changes.
هنخش حالا على الويت ونعرف ايه هو اللي بيتغير. Okay? So again, we can say that mass of your body on the surface of the moon equal 50 kilogram. 50 kilogram 2. 2 هنا يعني ايضا مش 50 kilogram 2 يعني 52 يعني. Okay? Again, 50 kilogram on the earth equal 50 kilogram on the moon. Okay. So now, what's about weight? What's about weight? ايه هو الويت؟ weight احنا بنسميه الوزن بالعربي اوكي، او هنسميه gravity الجاذبيه او gravitational force او attraction force قوه الجذب. So we can say that weight is the attraction force by which the body is attracted to the earth. يعني الويت هو قوة الجذب اللي بتشدني، هو مش مرتبط بيا أنا قد ما هو مرتبط بمين اللي بيشدني. The earth, the moon, Jupiter planet, Mars planet, and what is the body that attract you.
But
okay?
I want to ask you a question. Is
okay.
there gravity on other planets?
Yeah, sure. Imagine that Jupiter has gravity equal 11 times like the Earth. يعني for example لو حد كده تخيل imagine that انه راح جوبيتر
مش هيعرف يقف.
بالظبط، لا مش هيعرف يقف، بس ده كمان مجرد يعني when his feet touch the earth of Jupiter or the ground of Jupiter he will be or he will hear صوت طرقعة، هيسمع صوت طرقعة، صوت cracking قوي جدا. تخيل ان الجرافيتي هناك 11 times at the earth. تخيل ان في 11 شخص بنفس الماس بتاعتك وقعوا عليك. هيحصل ايه؟
شكرا، ده واحد بس خلاص.
واحد، تخيل كده يعني 11 times or 11.
طب وفي الحركة في المشي can we walk ولا دي هيبقى فيها صعوبة بسبب الجرافيتي؟
very difficult. You can't leave, you can't touch the earth of Jupiter. Okay? يعني مش هقدر المس ارض جوبيتر because Jupiter has a gravity like the earth 11 times 11 مرة. صعب جدا يعني. مش بس مش هقدر امشي، مش هقدر اوصل لجوبيتر.
Unlike the moon.
The moon has gravity less than the earth.
Much less.
So on the moon we see that the people or the astronauts like jumping، بنشوفهم كأنهم بيقفزوا او بينطوا.
Flying.
or flying بالظبط كده. طب ليه؟ Because the gravity on the moon is much lesser than the earth. Okay? الجرافيتي عند المون اقل كتير قوي من الارض، تقريبا 1/6 of the earth. Okay? So again, what's meant by weight? Weight, we can say that weight is the gravitational force by which the body is attracted to the earth. يعني هو قوة الجذب اللي بتشد الجسم للأرض. Imagine that, Mr. Yasser, with me. I have a person here on the earth. Okay, نرسم مع بعض. I have a person here. Okay, and this person traveled to the moon. Traveled to the moon. Okay, we said that mass doesn't change. Okay, Mr. Yasser, if the mass here is 50 kilogram, so the mass here equal 50 kilogram. What about weight? If the weight here is 500 Newton, the weight here will be the same.
No, it's
I
not.
think it's different. Why? طب أنا مش عايز أعرف الرقم كام، بس عايز أعرف هو إيه اللي حصل بالظبط. Imagine that, or you can tell me that. Which one is bigger, the Earth or the moon? مين أكبر؟
The earth.
The Earth. So the Earth attracts the body or attracts the person by much force. يبقى الأرض بتشد الشخص ده بقوة أكتر. يبقى كده الويت عند الأرض هيكون أكتر بكتير جدا من الويت عند المون.
وبالتالي لو في جوبيتر،
لو في جوبيتر يبقى زي ما أنت قلت.
الويت
شكرا يعني.
أقوى بكتير.
كتير جدا. 11 times at the Earth. Okay. So again, what's about
How do you
weight?
know? Have you ever been to Jupiter?
Yeah.
How
Sorry?
do you know? Have you ever been to Jupiter?
No, I've never been. I haven't ever been to any place except the Earth. Okay? So again, what's about weight or what's meant by weight? Weight, as we said, is the gravitational force by which the body is attracted to the Earth. Again, this is a very important definition. تعريف مهم جدا للويت. إيه هو؟ Weight is the gravitational force by which the body is attracted to the Earth. الويت هو قوة الجاذبية اللي بينجذب بيها الجسم للأرض. يبقى الويت مش مرتبط بالجسم نفسه قد ما هو مرتبط بمين اللي بيشد. The Earth، الأرض هي اللي هتشد أو هي اللي هتعمل attraction أو gravity، ولا the moon ولا جوبيتر ولا مارس ولا إيه بالظبط. Okay, a very simple.
Gravity is a hidden force.
Hidden force. Okay, like electricity.
Yeah.
اوكي، يعني الجرافيتي زي ما بيقول مستر ياسر قوه مختفيه او قوه مخفيه انا مش شايفها، يعني مش شايف حاجه بتشدني بالفعل يعني. اوكي، زي بالظبط الساوند انا مش قادر اشوفه لكن بحس بيه عن طريق الهيرنج. اوكي، ودرسنا يمكن حاجه شبه كده في برايمري 4 او برايمري 5 الانرجي او فورمز اوف انرجي. بس الفورس او الجرافيتي هي مش انرجي، هي فورس، هي قوه. اوكي ان شاء الله بالتفصيل هندرس في بريب 1 او بريب 2 دروس كبيره قوي او دروس مهمه جدا عن what's meant by force and types of forces. So again Mr. Yasser, I will give you a very simple example. Okay?
All right.
Imagine that you are on the Mars planet. You are what?
On Mars.
On Mars planet. Okay?
Yeah.
And your mass equal 60 kilogram.
Yeah.
Okay? And you travel to Jupiter. You know Jupiter?
Yeah.
The largest or the biggest planet. المشتري بالظبط كده.
كوكب المشتري.
كوكب المشتري. Okay. What happened to your mass? Your mass is 60 kilogram.
Yeah. My mass will get
decreased or get increased?
Increased.
Decreased?
Jupiter. You move from Mars to Jupiter.
You moved from Mars to
You're
Jupiter.
Talking about what? About mass?
Mass, yeah.
No, mass doesn't change.
Okay, Mr. Yasser, concentrate please. So here again, we can see that mass equals 60 kilogram.
I thought you were talking about weight.
Okay, I talk about mass not weight. Okay, يبقى تاني مهم قوي لكل أعزائنا الطلبة إن الماس ما بتتغيرش. Mass doesn't change. Okay? So again, if your mass on Mars or on the Earth or any planet on the universe, mass 60 kilogram, so the mass equal 60 kilogram 2. 60 هي ما بتتغيرش. If the weight here equal, for example, 600 Newton, what do you expect your weight here on Jupiter? Change or not?
The weight will change definitely.
Will it change definitely? Increase or decrease?
It will increase.
Increase 11 times, so it will be like that 6,600
times compared to Earth.
To the Earth.
But not compared to Mars.
Okay, but Mars is called, Mars and Venus is called the twins of the Earth. هم توائم الأرض.
So the gravity is the same?
Gravity in Mars is very similar, يعني متشابهة جدا مع الأرض. هي طبعا مش
but not the same.
يعني مش the same بالظبط بس يعني the nearest gravity is on the Earth equal to the Mars. Or equal on the Mars. Okay? So again, we can see that mass doesn't change by changing the place, but weight surely changes by changing the place. الويت أكيد بيتغير because weight is independent. Okay?
Perhaps that's why if there should be any life on any other planet.
That's one reason. That's سبب واحد.
Yeah, it could be Mars.
It could be Mars.
Right?
يعني هو في بعض الساينتست
قالوا properties very close to
very close,
Earth
but the atmosphere on Mars is definitely different from the atmosphere on the Earth. Okay? Because in the atmosphere of Mars يعني الموضوع بره الدرس خالص لكن الغلاف الجوي لمارس ما فيهوش oxygen, so we can't live on Mars.
I just wonder why are people so keen on traveling to or living in other planets, but we haven't, seen the whole Earth.
That's the science.
Right?
That's science. Curiosity. فضول يعني هو الناس عندها فضول انها تعرف more about space, more about planets, more about galaxies.
It's as if they have visited all places on Earth and now they are, tired and sick of seeing the same places over and over again.
Even
and they wish to change places.
Okay, even if they haven't visited all the places of the Earth, they are the same. It is the Earth. يعني حتى لو ما زارش كل الأماكن, already they are the same. Okay, the scientists want us to explore a new area, a new place. Okay, with different properties than the Earth.
Get away from people,
Okay, so now let's return back to our lesson about mass and weight. نرجع تاني لدرس مستر ياسر about
do you expect there will be life on Mars soon? I mean, like people will be able to travel to Mars for, let us say, journeys.
Okay, people will, I think they will be able to travel to Mars and to any planet, but not to live. يعني ممكن جدا نسافر للأماكن دي لكن مش نعيش عليها خالص. Because from our previous study we know that the Earth is the suitable planet for life.
The most suitable.
The most suitable because it has suitable temperature, suitable gravity as our lesson today, suitable atmosphere, oxygen and carbon dioxide and so on, suitable temperature as I said, suitable atmospheric pressure. موضوع مهم قوي نتكلم عنه في بريب 2 ان شاء الله تاني اعدادي. الضغط الجوي موضوع كبير جدا جدا. الموضوع مش بس الجرافيتي ولا التمبريتشر لكن موضوع كبير قوي. water, suitable soil التربه المناسبه for agriculture للزراعه and so on. So now let's start the properties of weight. اتفقنا ان الويت بتغير، عايز اعرف ايه هي ال properties of weight. First property of weight says that the effect of weight is always directed towards the earth's center. اول خاصية في الويت بتقول لي تأثير الويت is always directed towards the earth's center. دايما متجه لمركز الارض. Again, the effect of weight is always directed towards the earth's center. Okay? The earth or on earth all objects have weight. على الارض كل شيء عنده weight. كل شيء عنده weight. But in space all objects are in a state of weightlessness. لكن امتى يبقى عندي انعدام وزن في الفضاء الخارجي في السبيس؟ لما اخرج خالص من الاتموسفير of the earth. Okay? Again, on earth all objects have weight, but in space all objects are in a state of weightlessness.
يعني حالة انعدام وزن.
انعدام الوزن بالظبط كده. لكن طبعا دي مش حالة التعب اللي عند بعض الناس. ساعات يسموها حالة انعدام الوزن فعلا يعني.
مفيش وزن.
مفيش وزن بالظبط كده. Okay, on earth again all objects have weight, but in space all objects are in a state of weightlessness. Okay? The measuring unit of weight is Newton. Again, the measuring unit of weight is Newton. طب اتكلمنا من شوية عن measuring unit of mass. Can you remind me, Mr. Yasser?
Yeah,
measuring
the
of mass.
measuring unit of mass
Gram.
is gram, kilograms, and tons.
And ton. But what about measuring unit of weight? I have only one measuring unit, which is Newton.
And this is definitely related to Newton, the scientist.
The great scientist Isaac Newton, yeah, because he is the one that discovered the gravity. هو الشخص اللي اكتشف الجاذبية by his famous apple or his famous falling apple. طبعا عارفين القصة مشهورة قوي لما تفاحة
مليون حاجة بتقع علينا ما اكتشفناش أي حاجة.
يعني I asked this question to some pupils in my classroom. I asked them that if one apple falls on your head in one day, what happened? What will you do?
Someone just eat it.
Someone says I will wash it and eat it. Okay? يعني بعد واحد بس قال هغسلها باكلها. ده كل اللي فكر فيه. Okay? So Newton discovered the weight or the gravity by the falling apple or by the famous falling apple, not only eat it or at it. Okay? So again, the measuring unit of weight is Newton, but the measuring unit of mass, as we said, gram, kilogram, and ton. Okay. So another property of weight which is called, what about Newton؟ يعني ايه هو نيوتن تقريبا؟ نيوتن equal the weight of a mass equal 100 جرام. يعني عشان اربط بس من الاثنين، لو في ماس 100 جرام يبقى عندها weight 1 نيوتن. Again لو في ماس 100 جرام يبقى عندها weight 1 نيوتن. اوكي؟ طب لو الماس 200 جرام يبقى الويت 2 نيوتن. لو الماس 500 جرام يبقى الويت 5 نيوتن. And so on. So again, we can multiply the mass of the body by 10 to have weight.
The weight.
But 10 if it is in kilogram. Okay? لكن هنا بقول لو عندي الماس 100 جرام هتساوي 1 نيوتن. لأن لازم الأول أحولها للكيلوجرام. هعمل divide 1000 بعد كده أعمل باي 10. اوكي؟ هنتكلم عن الرول دي بالتفصيل إن شاء الله في آخر الحلقة. Okay. So again, the measuring device هو الجهاز اللي بيقيس الويت هنسميه spring scale. مع اننا قلنا من شويه ان في اكتر من سكيل بيقيس الماس زي one arm scale with a pointer, sensitive to arm scale and so on. But here I have only one scale which is called spring scale. طب spring scale ده او الميزان الخاص بقياس الوزن شكله ايه؟ يمكن ما بنشوفوش كتير قوي بس هو ده شكله. اوكي مستر ياسر؟
Yeah, I want to ask a question here about the balance scale.
Yeah.
Why should it be placed, let us say, horizontally on a surface?
Okay, this is very important. Give reason question.
Why should we place the balance scale horizontally on a surface?
Let me write this question for our dearest students.
Yeah, okay.
Mr. Yasser said a very important give reason question. The question says that give reason. We should place the balance scale horizontally. ليه لازم نضع الميزان المعتاد horizontally بشكل أفقي. I think this is the balance scale. When it is put in horizontal place, it will measure the mass correctly. But what happens if it is put in an inclined place? I think it will measure the mass incorrectly. Okay? So the answer simply, Mr. Yasser, here will be that to measure mass accurately or correctly. Okay? So again, this very important question of give reason. The question says that we should place the balance scale horizontally, so the answer will be that to measure the mass correctly. Okay, thank you for your very important give reason question, Mr. S. I remember that your very important question from the previous years.
However, I never pass the year.
You must study hard. I think this is the last chance for you.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Mr. Yasser is joking.
Every day I'm with you.
Okay.
People move to the prep school and I'm still in primary.
Mr. Yasser is joking as usual. هو بيقول ان هو لسه مستمر معايا من 4 سنين في primary 6. يعني مش بينجح لكن للاسف I advise him to study hard.
Well, okay? I mean to pass this year. Inshallah.
Okay.
Hopefully.
That's the last chance. آخر فرصة ليك. Okay. So again, we can say that weight of any object increases by increasing its mass. يعني لو هزود الماس برضه هزود الويت. يبقى what is the relation between them, Mr. Yasser? When the weight increases or when the mass increases, the weight increases too. So the relation between them is direct relation.
Direct or direct proportion. Directly proportional.
Okay. So again, when mass increases.
بس ما تلخبطوش يعني ممكن نقولها direct وممكن نقولها direct. الاثنين صح.
الاثنين صح. What's the difference? American and British?
I am American or British.
Okay. So again, we can say that when mass increases, weight increases too. لما الماس بتزيد, الويت برضه بيزيد. So we can say that the relation between mass and weight is direct relation or direct proportion, or as Mr. Yasser said, direct relation. Okay? Another property of weight, which is called the factors of weight. عايز أعرف بقى دلوقتي إيه اللي بيأثر على الويت. طب Mr. Yasser, can I ask you a very simple question? What are the factors that affecting mass?
The factors
that affecting mass.
Affect mass. The factors that affect mass.
We have no factors that affecting mass.
Nothing.
Because mass doesn't change. السؤال ده مهم قوي. أنا كنت قاصد أقول لمستر ياسر.
I'm trying to repeat the question so I could understand it and think of a good answer. But yes, mass.
Okay, that's a trick, not a question. That's a trick. Okay.
Unless it can change.
It can change. Why?
Yeah. I'll tell you. If it moves from one state to another state
in an open system.
Exactly.
كده هنلخبط بقى هنلخبط primary 6.
Okay.
تمام. Great scientist. Okay. Mr. Yasser said that the mass can be changed if some water is evaporated in an open system. لو في بعض المية تبخرت في نظام مفتوح أو in open cup يعني في كوباية مفتوحة, the mass will decrease. Okay. But I mean that كنت قاصد في بداية الحلقة in enclosed system. يعني في نظام مغلق. Okay. Except water. What happened to the ice cube when it melts and change into water? The mass
in terms of mass, nothing happens.
The mass doesn't change. Why? Because as we said, mass is not affected by changing the place or the state of matter. الماس ملهاش تأثير خالص بالstate of matter أو place of matter. But you are very great genius, Mr. Yasser.
Thank you.
Okay. لكن ده مش موضوعنا خالص أو مش هدرس ده بالتفصيل دلوقتي إن الماس ممكن تتغير لو في open system. لا ده الكلام إن شاء الله هدرسه بالتفصيل in secondary state. يعني مرحلة ثانوية مش حتى مرحلة إعدادية. Okay. So again we have no factors. سوري.
امال مش بنجح ليه؟
بالعكس ده منتهى النجاح يا مستر ياسر انك موجود معانا. Okay. So again we have no factors that affect mass. مفيش فاكتور خالص بيأثر على الماس. Mass has no factors. Mass is independent. الماس مستقلة. But what are the factors that affecting weight? We have 3 factors affecting weight, which are number 1, the object mass. The object mass, as we said, when mass increases, the weight increases. Again, where the weight increases by increasing the mass. Again, the object mass. يبقى أول فاكتور بيأثر على الويت أو العامل بيأثر على الويت هو الماس الكتلة. When the mass increase the weight increases too. Like what happened Mr. Yasser if I catch a very small paper like this. شوف مع بعض كده. لو أنا ماسك قلم and very small paper and throw them at once. Which one will reach the ground first? مين هيوصل الأرض أسرع؟
Yeah.
The pen or the paper?
With the bigger mass.
The bigger mass or the bigger weight. ودايما اللي عنده أكتر في الماس هيبقى عنده أكتر في الويت. So again we can say that mass increases when the weight increases and vice versa. Weight increases when the mass increases. Weight decreases when the mass decreases. Okay? So again we have no factors affecting mass. مفيش أي factor بيأثر على الماس. But we have three factors affecting weight, which are number one, mass. الكتلة. The second factor is called the planet or the place. هو المكان الموجود عليه البادي دوت. Imagine that someone is standing on the earth. He has weight. What happened to his weight when he traveled to the moon? Increase or decrease?
Yeah, it will decrease.
Decrease. So again,
become lighter.
Yeah, let me draw them, okay? Okay, if someone here on the earth, okay, and have weight, for example, 600 Newton, okay? But this person traveled to the moon. What happened to his weight? I think his weight will be 100 Newton only. 100 Newton only, okay?
يعني lighter, أخف.
Will be lighter. Why? Because the attraction force on the moon is much lesser than the Earth.
And why is that?
Why is that? Because the size of the moon is much smaller.
Yeah.
يعني هتخيل كده ان الارث بتشد الشخص دوت والمون بيشد نفس الشخص. مين اكتر؟ مين اقوى؟ يعني كنت بشرحها باكزامبل بسيط قوي.
هل دي قاعدة؟ كل
طبعا.
ما زاد
شور
حجم الكوكب
الحجم والماس. كل ما زاد حجم الكوكب عشان كده قلنا ان جوبيتر عنده ذا لارجست الجاذبيه بتاعته بالظبط كده. يعني كنت بشرحها باكزامبل مبسط قوي في الكلاس. For example, I have a person here. Okay, I have a person here. Okay, and a very little person like a pupil in KG. Okay, pushing this person, and another one which is a great boxer. Okay, player in boxing and like that. Okay, which one will push him more? مين هيدفعه أكتر؟ يعني الشخص اللي في النص دوت في واحد بيزق من هنا واحد بيزق من هنا أو بيشد بول بلاش بوش. مين هيشد أكتر؟
أكيد.
Number one or number two? Number two. Why? Because he has great mass. He has great size. So if the planet mass increases, the weight increases too. If the planet mass increases, the weight increases too. So up till now we have studied two factors affecting weight. Number one, mass. And we said that when mass increases, weight increases too. The second factor is that the planet or the place هو المكان اللي موجود عليه الشخص أو الجسم اللي بيتكلم عن الويت. When the mass increases, the planet increases too or increase in weight too. So we can see that with the weight increases by increasing the planet mass or the planet size. Again, where the weight increases by increasing the planet mass. So what about the third factor? عامل الثالث. It's called that the distance between the object and the center of the planet. Okay, موضوع مهم جدا بقى مستر ياسر. ركز مع بعض. Okay, imagine that I have a person here. Okay, نرسم مع بعض standing on the earth. Okay, and near the equator قريب من خط الاستواء. Okay, has a weight equal 600 Newton, for example. What happened to the same person when he will travel to the pole, one of the poles, North Pole or South Pole? I think his weight changes. I think it will be 580, for example. What happened to it? Decrease or increase? 600 became 580.
Yeah, so decrease.
It decreased. So what happened to it? It decreased. Why? Because the distance between the planet center increased. يعني معنى كده كل ما زود distance أو كل ما ابعد عن distance from the center of the planet, the weight decreased. لأن مين اللي بيشد أو فين الجرافيتي؟
Because gravity is much stronger
around the middle or around the center of the earth or center of the planet. So when the distance increases, لما المسافة بتزيد, what happened to weight? Weight decreases. So we can say this relation as inverse relation. كلمة يمكن أول مرة نسمعها. علاقة عكسية. Okay, inverse relation. عكس direct أو direct relation as you said Mr. Yasser before. Okay, so again the relation between distance from the center of the planet and the width is always inverse relation, and we can see that when distance increase the width increase. Okay, when the distance increase, sorry, the width decrease. The relation here is inversely proportional. علاقة عكسية لما distance بتزيد width بيقل. So we can see that.
And when we wait more.
When we wait more.
Yeah, when we wait more. What about
when we
the
wait? What's wait? What's the word? Okay, you're joking as usual Mr. Yasser. سايس بقول لما when we wait more لما ننتظر أكتر ننتظر في نفس المكان the weight doesn't change if you are in your place, stable in your place. Okay, so the last factor that affecting weight is called the distance between the body and the planet center, and we can say that where the weight decreases when the distance between the object and the center of the planet increases. الويت بيقل لما الديستانس بتزيد، لما المسافة بتزيد. Okay, so we have three factors that affecting weight, which are mass, place, and the distance from the planet center. Again, we have three factors which are mass, place, and the distance from the planet center. So we have notabene or important note, ملاحظة مهمة جدا, that says that the attraction force acting on an apple, its mass equal 100 gram equal 1 Newton. As we said before, زي ما قلنا قبل كده, الماس that equal 100 gram equal 1 Newton. Okay? Weight affects us towards the Earth's center, as we said more and more. دايما تأثير weight في اتجاه مركز الأرض. يعني مفيش حاجة بتقع لفوق أبدا أو يمين أو شمال. أي حاجة بتقع لتحت. So the weight is affected by the center of the Earth. And we said from a while, when the distance between the center of the planet and the body increases, the weight decreases.
Unless there is, let us say, other factors like wind.
Like wind, okay, we can take it into consideration, يعني ناخدها في الاعتبار. Okay, but I say that without the effect of wind. يعني imagine that there is no wind or there is no strong wind. Okay, تمام. بتاخدنا المواضيع بعيدة أو أنت يا مستر ياسر.
You know, I'm sure that this is a way they should think.
Yeah, sure. I have many pupils. They think very generously. Okay, بيفكروا بطريقة creative قوي خلاقة مبدعة جدا، كتير قوي بتعرض لكده مع الطلبة.
So the syllabus should not limit our way of thinking.
Yeah,
you know?
sure. The syllabus should
and you should encourage students who think up and come up with ideas. And,
okay. We must encourage them, but I think our pupils now have a great chance by the internet. The internet is a very, very useful way for learning.
If they use it the right way.
Yeah, I think all of them use it, but not
they need guidance.
More. Yeah, they need guidance. Not more of them. مش كتير قوي منهم use it in right way.
And they need to know how to look for whatever they want to know about.
Okay, I have many students look for the videos about the syllabus in
space, for example.
Space, for example,
space
the mass and width.
One of the interesting topics in this syllabus.
Yeah, sure. Space is an interesting topic in the syllabus. Okay. So again, weight affects us towards the Earth center, and we have studied that weight is affected by three factors, which are mass, direct relation, place or planet, direct relation also, and the distance between the planet center and the Earth, or the planet center and the body, which is the only inverse relation we have studied this lesson.
All right, I'm really sorry because our time is up, and I'd like to thank you very much, Mr. Nader.
Thank you
for having you with us. I'm glad to be with you today.
I'm so glad to.
Inshallah, I'll be with you as much as I can on our next episodes. Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you, Mr. Yeah, thank you.
So that brings us to the end of this episode. Dear students of the 6th elementary grade, we've discussed and explained the first lesson of the science book, talking about mass and weight. I'm sure it's been an interesting lesson for you all, an easy one, and I hope that you've understood everything we've discussed on this episode. And we'll be seeing you again, inshallah, next week. So until then, We wish you all the best. Goodbye.